Are you afraid of speaking up in a work call? Afraid of showing up to the gym and not knowing how to use the machines and afraid that people are going to be watching you? Are you afraid of wearing something that makes you stand out? Basically, the fear of being seen is really the fear of being judged, and staying hidden equals safety in your brain. This comes from two different places. From an evolutionary perspective, there was a study done about a group that was playing ball and someone was excluded. And basically being excluded, what that does to your brain, it activates the same part of your brain as if you experience physical pain. So being included and not judged is really part of survival. And then there's a second part of it. Some of it is learned, where maybe when you were younger you were criticized for something, maybe you were bullied, maybe you felt like someone was always watching you, meant that they were going to nitpick all the little things about you. So now you're afraid to be seen because you think being seen equals being criticized. A lot of times we really overestimate how many people are actually paying attention to us because everybody is so concerned with themselves. So in this video, I want to talk about ways that this may be showing up that you might not even notice, because it's not always about literally being in the spotlight. There's different ways, like maybe in intimate relationships, you're afraid of opening up and being more vulnerable. Maybe at work, you don't want to get on a call and have to present something and share your screen because you just have this anxiety and fear that people are hovering over you. We're going to go through the different ways this might show up that are a little trickier than just your basic ones that you would automatically know. And it could be affecting you in a way that you might not even realize. And then we're going to talk about the different ways to get over this fear for good, so you can live the life that you actually want, whether that means actually being on the spotlight or just having deeper relationships. Talk about the different ways this may be showing up. So one would be playing small. Maybe you are holding back your ideas. You are afraid of raising your hand if questions are being asked in class. Maybe you just aren't speaking up, even though you know or you have input that you want to contribute. Another way is perfectionism. Maybe if you just do one little thing, or if you proofread something one more time, it'll be good enough to put out there. Perfection is not real, and the way to get better is to just get in the repetition. So if you feel like you're trying to do things perfectly until they're just ready, that may be a way that this is showing up. If you are procrastinating, let's say you know you want to start the YouTube channel, but you haven't yet started. You know that you want to start dating, but you have not put any effort in. And slowly, days and weeks and months go by, and you haven't taken any action. You may be afraid of being seen. If you overthink or censor anything, whether you're going to text someone and then you're like, wait, I'm not sure if I should say this, or I'm not sure if I should send this email, and you go back and forth and delete and fix, that could be another way. If you find yourself shifting versus like who you're around to fit their mold or what you think they want so that you don't get judged, that's another way. Really allowing yourself to be seen as who you truly are, so then you can even attract who's actually meant for you. But if you notice that you're people pleasing or you're shifting, take note of that. One other way is that maybe you go to do something and you notice that your heart starts racing. For instance, going to present something, be going on a date, and you notice like a physical nervous system response where your throat starts to get like choked up. Or I know for me, like I used to have meetings and we'd go around and I would just be so stressed when it was coming to me that I sometimes couldn't even get words out. So that might be a way. Blushing or sweating, that's a physical response to being nervous of being seen and perceived. Okay, next we're going to talk about how to get over this fear when you start getting triggered. Maybe you're going into an event and you find yourself wanting to hide in the back row. Like I said, maybe you're worried when you head into the gym. Notice those times that you start to feel this. And where in your body that you're feeling it. And I want you to track what you're afraid of. You're afraid you're going to be rejected, criticized. What does being seen translate to you in your internal dialogue? One step further is, do you have any memories of this? Maybe there was a time you got called on or called out in class for doing something wrong. Maybe you were humiliated in some sense. And then another step even further is the voices you hear, like sometimes they're not our own, right? Maybe your family or whoever you grew up around really doesn't like a certain thing, and inside that's something you love. And so you'll hear like, oh, it's not going to be good if I do this, or whatever judgment you may have heard growing up. And or maybe someone said directly to you, whose voice is this? What are the stories being told? Because you have the ability to change them. Another way to start getting over this fear is to slowly start doing things. So I have some examples from my own personal life this last year that I've been really trying to do to slowly expose myself to these situations so that I can build a tolerance to be seen. Sometimes where you feel resistance is where you need to lean into. It's like the people that are the most afraid of being seen and judged are usually either really good at that one thing or they're meant to be seen. And so feel resistance towards certain things, that's where you should slowly start to lean into. So as I've kind of said in this video a little bit, I want to be in the gym. I wanted to start going into the gym again, but it was a new gym, wasn't really sure of it. And what I did was I made an appointment for someone to show me where the machines were, how to use certain machines. Getting that one-on-one doesn't feel like you're being so seen, but then it gives you more confidence to go back in there, and that's something that really helped me. If you want to promote at work, slowly start asking to do more things, presenting. I had a time when I really didn't want to be on the spot, and I used to be like, I hope this meeting gets canceled, and then I said, no, like this is like exactly what you need to be doing. So I would try to prepare as best as I could for it, and then over time it just got so easy that now I don't even really get that nervous, which I can't even believe. I almost forget how far that I've come. So slowly start recording if you're afraid of being seen. Opening up, maybe you're afraid of being vulnerable, but you really crave a deep relationship. Start by sharing things that aren't so insanely personal and build that trust and vulnerability slowly, because the more you allow yourself to be seen, like the deeper and the better that life can be, really. Thing that I suggest, as always at the end of my videos, is doing EFT. On my second channel, I have uploaded a very generic EFT tapping session for the fear of being seen. But if you head back to the first step of this, where you start asking yourself your own personal questions about what is the voice I'm hearing? What am I afraid of being seen? What is the fear really at the root of it for you? You can take that, put it into ChatGPT and ask it to make you your own personalized script so that you can really get specific about what you're actually afraid of yourself. And that will help you make it more personalized to you. And as always, you can work with me if you would like to, but I did upload a generic one, and that'll basically have you go through what are the fears. And I used this so much. I use tapping so much to get to the point that I'm at. So there are so many available for that. Being seen, maybe fear of like public speaking, all these things, presenting, work, like it can affect every area of your life. So I hope that this video really gave you some information on how you can notice where your fears are being seen. Maybe you don't have an issue with career stuff, but you have an issue with love. Where are you fearing? How is it showing up? And then hopefully these tools really help you get past your fear and what you're afraid of being criticized, judged, or showing when it comes to your own life.